Year of Sanji, bitches, right out of the gate, they're dropping the plot bombs on us. I love this shit. This will be One Piece chapter 812, biased review, whatever you want to call these, whatever, entitled Capone, or Capone Beige, or however you want to, where the translation is. Actually, there's another big translation issue this chapter, which had me freaking out, but we'll get to that. So, anyway, we're still in the backstory between how Sanji disappeared from Zou 2 days before the current storyline. We have Big Mom's ship arriving at Zou. Peacoms makes landfall because he's an original mink, but who was the other member that was going to shore with them? Because Peacom said to Big Mom that it only should be 2 of us should be good enough. Well, the other member is actually Capone Beige, because it was actually dropped a while ago, like kind of just mentioned offhand, I think at the end of the Dressrosa arc by somebody, that Capone was actually working, or like was at least within an alliance with the Big Mom pirates. So I completely just blanked on that, though. I didn't think that he was going to play a major role in this arc. Well, it turns out he does. So Capone and Peacoms go to shore on Zou, and Peacom sees that the entire place is wrecked, and he gets pissed because he thinks it's the Straw Hats who they're chasing after. Meanwhile, the Straw Hats have pretty much, like, this is after a few days after they've helped the Minks out, so the Minks are pretty much back on their feet. Wanda and her exchange clothing because that's apparently a sign of friendship in Zou. That's why Wanda was running around wearing Nami's bikini when Luffy and the gang first showed up, and Nami gets like a really elaborate like dress or whatever. Sanji's freaking out because apparently he's into some mink love, which I get furries, whatever, I don't know, but he's going around, and I guess the way you greet somebody in Zou, like as part of their custom, is I don't know, I want to say it's kissing them because he gets really close to their faces, but if you actually look at any of the panels, he's not actually, like, physically kissing them or something, but it's something involved where he's getting really excited, so he's just going around to all the female minks and just cavorting with them and kind of drooling and just going typical Sanji stuff, but kind of a little bit more into overdrive. Maybe he found his fetish, I don't know. But yeah, he's just freaking out over that, so Peacoms gets reunited with his friends and family, and they basically bring him up to speed, like, no, it wasn't the Straw Hats that did this. It was actually them that saved us because Jack came and fucked us all up. And Peacoms is like, damn you, Jack, because I would assume that just because he's a member of one of the Yonku's crew, they probably don't get along with Kaido too much. But yeah, they bring them up to speed, and eventually Sanji notices that, oh shit, the Big Mom pirates are here. So they're trying to figure out what to do. Now, Caesar is basically under the suspicion that they should just kind of like try to kill them or assassinate them in the dark or something, and Sanji is thinking about just handing Caesar over, honestly, because the whole reason they had Caesar to begin with, the whole reason they had to escape from Big Mom's ship from the first place so they don't get Caesar, is because he was kind of like the trump card against Doflamingo. Like, that's the whole reason, they had him, and that was part of Law's plan. But Luffy kicked the shit out of Doflamingo. He's no longer involved in this situation, so the idea is being thrown around. Maybe we should just give Caesar back, and then she's not even going to worry about it. Also, though, there was the issue with Luffy basically calling Big Mom out back on Fishman Island, so Sanji doesn't really know what's going to happen. But he basically says, Nami, you guys just sit back. Brook, come with me. Let's go negotiate with the Big Mom pirates. So it's Capone and Peacoms and then Sanji and Brook that go and try to sort something out. And Sanji's all serious. He's like, okay, what the fuck are you doing here? How can how can we get you out of here as quickly as possible? And Peacoms just breaks out into tears. He embraces Sanji. He's like, thank you for saving my hometown. And actually, Peacoms is totally cool with, it's like, hey, just give us Caesar. We were told that we were supposed to come and get you guys, not only just because of the initial reason, but also because there was a new development that occurred. And because of that new development, we need to get you. But you know what? Screw it. You saved my hometown. You saved my friends and family. I'll figure out something with Mama. Don't worry. So just give us Caesar and everything's golden. And for a second you're thinking, oh man, Peacoms is actually a pretty cool dude, right? Well, he might have been, but it doesn't matter because Capone immediately shoots him in the fucking back several times using his devil fruit power, which we'll actually find out what is called in this chapter. So yeah, he just opens up his hand, which of course allows his men, the fire tank pirates that live inside of his body, to just unload fucking volleys of Gatling guns on freaking Peacoms. Doesn't work the same way it worked against against Karibo back on Fishman Island because Pecoms ate some sort of turtle devil fruit, a zone type that allowed him to have the turtle shell that prevented him from being hurt by Karibo's attack. But I guess he just didn't see this coming because Capone was a member of his own crew. We're supposed to be in alliance with him. But Capone obviously is not catering to Pecom's gratitude towards Sanji because he's just like, look, I don't give a fuck what you guys did with Zoe. He has some connections with this place. I don't. We were given orders to bring you back, so we're gonna fucking do that now. So he just opens up the gates all over his body, and his entire pirate crew, the Fire Tank Pirates, just emerge, and they confront Sanji and Brook. Now, this is a big one because we actually get to finally find out what Capone's devil fruit is, and just give me a second because I'm pretty sure it was the Shiro no Mi, but I might be messing this up. So yeah, it's the Shiro no Mi. I'm just confused by that because Shiro also means white, so I was thinking maybe they're mixing it up, but there's a lot of words in Japanese that mean like similar things, like kami. It can mean paper, it can mean hair, it can mean god. So I guess Shiro is one of those words. It can mean white or it can mean castle because he ate the castle fruit and he is a castle man. So I guess that whole idea is he keeps like a separate dimension inside of his body where he can shrink anything down and he can create like a castle inside him, and that's where his pirate crew usually is. So along with this, we also get the title card where his bounty is stated, and this was the other translation issue. His bounty in the initial version I read this morning was 3 billion. Think about that for a second. 3 billion. I almost had a fucking heart attack. I was freaking out. I was already preparing on what to say to you guys. Like, 3 billion! That's 6 times stronger than Luffy, bitch. But no, of course it's not. It was just a translation error. It's just 300 million, which is still nothing to scoff at. Keep in mind, though, Capone was one of the lower ranking in the worst generation. I think it went, Arouge was the lowest at 108, and then you went up to Jewelry Bonnie, and then I think Capone was the third. This was the former bounties when we first met them on Shibondi. So yeah, they basically break out and they get them all cornered. Sanji, Nami, Brook, Chopper, they're taken care of. And Caesar apparently is trying to escape using his gas powers. He's trying to float away. But Capone brings up something very interesting. He's like, I have Karyoseki bullets, or Sea Stone Prism bullets to shoot you down. So immediately Caesar freaks the fuck out and he just immediately reveals himself. He's like, oh no, I'm here, don't shoot. And Capone turns out he doesn't have any Karyoseki bullets, but instead he has a spear made out of Karyoseki, which he stabs Caesar, immobilizing him. But that finally brings up a big point that I've always wondered about the fucking One Piece series. Why don't they just make bullets out of Karyoseki? Can you not think of a more better way to handle Devil Fruit users than that? I mean, yeah, you can make nets. Yeah, you can make like Smoker's Jutty or whatever. But I mean, the smartest way to do this would just be making bullets. And this question was brought to my attention probably the most prominently during the Impel Down arc, where you have a prison that is built to literally house pirates that have, well, not just all pirates that have devil fruits, but it's supposed to be capable of containing pirates that do have devil fruit powers. And even they don't have any sort of Karyoseki bullets. So I got a lot of theories why this might not happen, because maybe maybe the material is too difficult to shape down to a bullet, maybe something like that, but that doesn't make any sense because you can make weapons out of it, you can make cages out of it, the fucking Marines can apparently coat the underside of their ship, so they clearly exist. The only bet I can guess is that they're really valuable and they're really rare and it just takes a lot of time and energy and money to make them. So that's why they don't really exist too much. But it doesn't matter anyway because they have everybody, cornered. So we then get a scene where just everybody's gone. All it is just Capone next to Pecoms, who's all bloody and broken. And then we cut to the inside of Capone's body using his Castle Fruit ability, where we have Sanji sitting at a table and all the Fire Tank Pirates are around him just holding guns at him so he doesn't try anything funny. And then we get another aspect of Capone's power where he can actually, even though he is the castle, he can materialize himself, or just like a representation of himself inside the castle, so he can still talk to people inside of himself. Or maybe his main body goes dormant while his main body, activates inside. So anyway, he appears on the other side of the table next to Sanji, and he's like, oh, do you want some food? Do you want some wine? And Sanji's like, no, we don't want any food. We don't need fucking wine. Just tell us what you want, and we'll see where that goes from there. So Capone holds out an invitation. It's a card that has the Jolly Roger of the Big Mom Pirates on it. And he's like, things are a little bit different from the last time we met you. there's a tea party that Mama's throwing, and we're invited. This is an invitation to it. And the main event is going to be a wedding ceremony. Who's getting hitched? Well, the groom will be the third son of the Vinsmoke family, Sanji. And the bride will be, this is another issue with translation. In this one, it says the 35th daughter of the Charlotte family, Purin. I saw other translations that are just the third daughter of the Charlotte family, which would make more sense because the third son marrying the third daughter, that would make sense. And that's the end of the chapter. And this look that Sanji gives, it's just dumbstruck. He drops his fucking, he just opens his mouth, cigarette pops out, he's sweating profusely. When he mentioned the Vinsmoke family, that was a big deal. Probably something that he has not thought about in a very long time. So anyway, yeah, what are my theories on this? Well, that pretty much confirms, at least in some way, that Sanji's family is of some relevance or some importance, because you're talking about, third son marrying, it's like an arranged marriage, so there's probably some nobility aspect going on here. I know that there's the prevailing theory that Sanji is the son, or at least related to a celestial dragon. I would say that's probably accurate. I'm not going to say it's confirmed now, but it's probably more than likely, because when you talk about nobility in the One Piece universe, it pretty much always leads back to the Celestial Dragons in some way, with Doflamingo and Dressrosa, or Vivi and the Nefertari family in Alabasta. If you get high up like this, it's pretty much going to lead back to them at some point. So yeah, I'm saying that theory is pretty damn accurate at this point. As for the bride, Purin, of course, we don't know anything about her yet, but the Charlotte family is interesting because Big Mom's real name is Charlotte Linlin. Now, being from America, I just assumed Charlotte was her first name, Linlin being her last, but I guess it's completely possible considering, the reversal of names, the last name usually comes first in Japanese, that Charlotte is her family name, therefore Sanji is marrying Big Mom's daughter, or at least a member of Big Mom's family. I'm going to go back to that girl that we saw in Big Mom's island when she went on Whole Cake Island, the girl with the 3 eyes with the big tits and the ponytail. Because that looks like somebody Sanji could kind of fall for, and that's like really the only female we've seen in the Big Mom Pirates up to this point. But yeah, I'm so pumped that Oda's kicking this off first thing out of the year, because we had this I think it was like about a month ago, we got this interview that it's going to be the year of Sanji, and I was thinking, well, maybe, we're going to get into that throughout the year, but we're setting the groundwork right now. Now, how this is going to work for the arcs, because I'm starting to think about this whole thing right here about Sanji getting married and being taken away, that's the reason he got taken away by Capone. This is setting up a whole other story arc right here. Like the whole Big Mom Sanji rescue arc or something like that. But keep in mind, we are still on Zou. And I'm starting to think, wait a second, there's really no conflict on Zou right now, so is Zou just going to be like this little buffer arc? Are we not going to get any actual story arc with Zou? Because Zou, but we have such an interesting, cast of characters, and we just introduced the Minks and everything. Because there's no enemy to defeat. That's my point, the Big Mom Pirates, but in the present timeline that Luffy and them are on the island, the Big Mom Pirates have left. So it's just the Minks and the Straw Hats. There's no enemy to defeat. There was Jack, but, Jack left. Jack left to go try to free Doflamingo, got his ass kicked by Sengoku and Otsuru, probably, and they say he's dead. I'm going to debunk on him still being alive, because we don't really know anything about Jack, but I don't see Jack, unless he's really dirt stupid, I don't see Jack being like, okay, I fought the Minks for a few days, and then I'm going to go try to rescue Doflamingo, got my ass kicked by a freaking former fleet admiral and a vice admiral, and now I'm going to go back to Zou and try to find Raizo, that ninja, again, okay? I just don't see him doing that. So maybe there's going to be some other conflict on Zou involving Kanjiro and Kinemon, and because they're not on the island yet, or they might be, but they're still, they fell down, and I think there's a reason that they just didn't arrive on Zou with the rest of the Straw Hats, because obviously the Minks are kind of iffy with the samurai right now. That's the whole reason their country got destroyed, is because Jack was looking for a member of Wano Kuni. Wano Kuni, we still have that arc. So hey, if nothing else, we got shit planned out now. We have the Zou arc, if that's going to be anything. Then we have a whole Sanji rescue arc that's probably going to be the bulk of this year, which is why it's the year of Sanji. And then we have Wano Kuni, which Oda confirmed a long time ago we're going to get to Wano Kuni at some point. So we got at least 3 story arcs that are on the horizon in whatever order they're. Oh, I know we're going to deal with the Sanji shit before we get to Wano Kuni. But yeah, we're probably going to be good for another year or two of solid story arcs, and probably beyond that. But it's kicking off the new year to a good time. I'm glad that this. I'm glad they got right to it. No shitting around. I'm really freaking pumped for Capone. I mean, I wasn't really thinking much about him. He wasn't really one of my favorite supernovas or anything. But you know, that's straight up cold-blooded how he just shot PCOMs there. So I wonder how Mom's gonna respond to that. Really, yeah, you just shot one of my members of my crew, and I mean, I understand he was disobeying orders, but I don't think Big Mom's gonna take too kindly to that. But, yeah, what do you guys think of this chapter? What do you think of the backstory involving Sanji? I was gonna do a whole Sanji, like, backstory video. Like, hold on, I even had the freaking, thumbnail kind of prepared for it. And I guess I can't do that now. I guess I could still, but I don't see the I'm sorry about that. Can't really do the point in that because, it's pretty much confirmed what's gonna happen next, at least with that. So, yeah, next chapter probably going to cut back to the present, and Luffy's probably going to react to this in some way. Because there's a limit to how much Brook and everybody knows. I mean, I guess Sanji and Caesar left with Capone, and they left with Big Mom's ship, and then that's all they know about it. So I guess they don't really know where it's going to go from there. But thanks for watching, guys. This will be Tekking101, signing out. Later.